The remaining handful of protesters occupying Civic Square in Wellington have been told to leave today. The protesters have been part of a global movement against corporate bailouts and wealth inequality since October. Originally, dozens of people were camped out in a grassy courtyard in the square, but over time the numbers have dwindled. Protesters say they intend to stay on the site. Joining us now, a spokesperson from the Wellington City Council, Richard McLean. Good morning.
Good morning, Tim.
They don't sound like they're leaving.
Well, that's obviously what they've told the media in the past 24 hours, but I mean, we obviously gave them a letter before Christmas which said, could they please leave by the end of play today, and we would like them to do that.
They say you haven't taken into account stat days and the fact that the council's been closed.
Generally speaking, we think that's kind of irrelevant, actually, because the council hasn't been closed, and also, the whole stat day thing is starting to sound a bit technical because they've been there all the time, and we've been visiting them all the time. So this, if they're trying to actually bring a stat day argument into it, it's probably a bit irrelevant.
How many have you got left now?
We've been visiting and checking up on them almost daily, and I think there's probably about 3 people there. There's about 20 tents, most of which appear to be empty or in a state of collapse.
Three people?
Yeah, there appears to be about 3, maybe a couple more come and visit, but that appears to be the general number over the Christmas time.
Why bother pursuing this then if there are only 3 left?
Well,
will they go of their own volition?
Sorry, what was that?
They won't go of their own volition, you don't think?
Well, we're hoping that they'll go of their own volition. I think
Is it worth the council's time and effort and bother and money?
We think it is because there are still 20 or so tents on a piece of public ground, which is generally a favourite, like a lunchtime spot, a relaxing spot for Wellingtonians. So there are a whole lot of tents there. They've done a lot of damage, and we want them to go so we can actually fix the area back up again.
They weren't deterred by the rain earlier this week?
Certainly not. Well, except for the fact that there's only 3 people there or thereabouts. I mean, there are a lot of empty tents, as I say, but the rain and the presence of the tents over the past few months has pretty much destroyed the grass on the site. So that's probably the main reason why we want them to go.
So the deadline's 4 o'clock. What are you going to do if they're not gone by then?
We will consider our options, I think, is the best way of looking at it. And I mean, obviously, legal options are probably near the top of the list.
Richard McLean from the Wellington City Council, thank you for being with us.